Welcome back. So we're starting with a very large item for this particular mail day. So this is an original newspaper, the Brooklyn Daily Eagle, published July 3rd, 1923. If you can see right here, there's a very young player ready to make his home debut for the Brooklyn Robins at shortstop. And that is Moe Berg. This was 6 day. He made his home debut July 4th in a doubleheader, 1923, for the Brooklyn Robins, 6 days after making his major league debut. And this is the paper kind of promoting him being the new shortstop, theoretically the shortstop of the future for the then Brooklyn Robins, which later became the Brooklyn Dodgers. This is when Berg was still in graduate school, so he didn't really join the club until June, per his contract. But this is long before his catching days, which didn't start until the early 30s with the White Sox, when he was the emergency backup and took a liking to it, and the pitchers liked throwing to him, especially Ted Lyons, and that's what started his catching career. So that is basically a debut newspaper for Moe Berg. Again, this is an inexpensive pickup, very fragile because it is newspaper. It is almost 100 years old. So happy to add this little odd piece. It's going to be difficult to store, but it's a nice little Berg piece to add to the collection. So that's starting off this video. The cheapest of the items that we're going to show here. There's only going to be 4 items. We're going to zoom in a little bit. Messy desk and stuff all over it. And right off the bat, you can see we're not going to mess around with this one. So this I was very lucky to find, and surprisingly I was the only bidder on this item. I really don't have a good example of the 64 Bazooka Koufax, so finding this in a PSA 4 was pretty good, and I only paid, I think, a little bit more to have the whole panel in a PSA 4. So we have Frank Robinson, Sandy Koufax, and Rocky Colavito. Blank backs, because it is off of a Bazooka gum box. These are really hard to find. They're hand cut, so finding something with a numeric grade on it is not the easiest thing in the world, and usually when you do, they can be quite pricey. So finding a full panel with a grade, figured I'd jump on that. And honestly, I put a placeholder bid on this. For those of you unfamiliar, placeholder bid is putting the smallest bid you can in order to actually record the bid, whether it's opening price or the next bid up, just because I wanted to watch it and kind of see where it goes and maybe make a play at it. Well, no one else bid on it, so I got this for opening bid, and I was quite happy with that. An unexpected win, but sometimes those are the best wins, and that's how you get some of the cool stuff for a PC. So, full panel 1964 Bazooka with Sandy Koufax right in the center. Next up, this is an item where it was a buy it now or best offer, and I had actually contacted the seller a couple of times making offers on this item, and we can never come to a deal. And then I guess it was about 2 weeks after I had made my last offer on it, seller came back to me and basically said, I want this to go to collector, so let me look at the numbers and I'll send you an offer within the next week. So I thanked them, waited on it, and they shot me a number probably a good 30% below my last best offer. So obviously I immediately grabbed it, immediately jumped on it, accepted. I was happy to add this. This is a picture, obviously Hank Greenberg during batting practice. There's a very nice note from the seller, basically essentially reiterating what I just said, that they had held on to it for a while, and now he's happy to it's going to be going into a collection. So the really nice thing with this photo is that it's from September 1st, 1938, during Greenberg's pursuit of Babe Ruth's home run record. This was taken at Yankee Stadium. Greenberg ended the season with 58 home runs. There are multiple stories behind that of why he didn't get the record, but at the end of the day, he ended the season with 58, to 2 home runs short of the then record. But I just thought it was a really kind of cool piece, considering it's A. Greenberg, so obviously fits in my PC. And he's chasing Babe Ruth's record, and this was taken at Yankee Stadium, as the race was heating up. So really happy to add this to the collection of the period photos, kind of a unique glimpse into that time period and that particular race. And the next one, we're going to go back further in time. We're going to go back another 25 years from the time this photo was taken, to one of the older, if not the oldest, one of the older Jewish player cards in the collection now, and that is the 1913 Fatima Pittsburgh Pirates team card. Now this is not a cheap card. I won this at auction, and really the player that that jumps the price of this up is Honus Wagner, as to be expected. But I didn't buy it for the Wagner. I got it from the Menser, who's sitting right there. Wagner's here, Menser's here. He's one of the early Jewish players in Major League Baseball. And I'd been eyeballing a couple of these here and there. This is a trimmed copy of the card, so it was a little bit cheaper. They're still just incredibly hard to find for a reasonable price. You can find them, but then find them at a price that not going to damage your wallet too much is more of a challenge. Let's put it that way. So happy to add the early Jewish player to the collection in the Pittsburgh Pirates team card. So we're really covering many, many years. We went from starting in the 20s, back to the teens, then to the 60s, and then also to the 1930s. So many, many decades of Jewish players in baseball, and really happy to add all these very, very unique pieces. Obviously, it's an early Greenberg photo, which I did not have. Very nice Koufax panel, the Pittsburgh Pirates team card, and the Moberg newspaper, debut newspaper, which I showed at the beginning of the video. So, not the cheapest purchases in the world, but definitely not the most expensive. You can find reasonable, most of the time, deals from time to time when searching for specific players, teams, or even down to the card itself, or photo in this case. You just have to kind of keep looking. I'd been looking at one of these for a while. I've been trying to find Koufax for a reasonable price for a while. This same exact photo had been listed for quite some time and always piqued my interest. And the Moberg stuff kind of just pops up here and there. And the early stuff is very, very hard to find. So all in all, it was an interesting mix. Kind of find 4 different Jewish players, 3 of kind of the primary players in the collection, and just happy to add each and every one of these items. So that's kind of the unique blend that I got for you this time around. Until next time, please remember to collect what you enjoy what you collect, and don't let anybody, especially the market or a YouTuber, dictate that to you. And most importantly, have fun. And have fun by being active in this community. Whether it's making videos, watching and commenting, going to live streams, group chats, going to LCS or local card show, or simply talking about the hobby with family and friends. The more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. The more you'll learn, the more your PC will grow, the more people you'll meet, and the more fantastic friendships you'll form. So I thank you very much for joining me. I hope to see you again. Have a good one, and bye for now.